Emmaus, and I was jumping up and down in my seat. I was very animated about everything he was saying, and he was probably looking at me like, okay, great, I'm glad you're excited, but usually people don't get excited just because I'm preaching. Uh, so I had to talk to him afterwards. He was talking about Ruth and how Ruth, the book of Ruth, points to Jesus. So I had to stop him at the end of service. Oh yes, clear heart. I know you. You paint by numbers. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I don't recognize people just by their names. I don't see your avatar when I'm looking at OPS. Let's see, what happens if I look here? Nope, I don't see your avatar either. I do remember you, Clearheart. You do paint by numbers, some diamond paintings from time to time. Want to start singing more on stream? Yep, you should be singing more on stream. I've heard you sing. Uh, may do some singing on Thursday for Christmas songs and hymns. Sweet, awesome. Let me give you a shout out, Clearheart. Boom, there you go. Check out Clearheart 24. She's now when you say paint by numbers, you may be thinking, oh, I've done that in grade school. Uh, Clearheart does some very complicated paint by numbers. Like these paint by numbers, you need a college degree and a paintbrush with like only 2 hairs. So these are very detailed, very complicated, complex paint by numbers that she's doing. So feel free to check her out. And she can sing. Did I mention she can sing? No, you're great. Oh, stop. Okay, so going to see right here. We need some separation between his arm and Joseph's cloak there. His garment. Whatever we're going to call that. Some people would not choose to separate that. I choose to do the separation so you can actually see. Because, believe it or not, this is not a real arm. The art form of comics is it's rather abstract. These are flat areas of color, flat areas of ink. And the viewer understands that. The viewer should understand that. It's not an aha video. Oh yeah, I like it. That pops. Yeah, so I was telling you about the podcast I was listening to. So my new friend at my new church, uh, his name is Dave, gave me this podcast, and the name of the podcast is called Mysteries of the Messiah. This is Rabbi Jason Sobel, who is the co-writer of a book called The Rock, the Road, and the Rabbi. And he co-wrote this book with Kathy Lee Gifford. Kathy Lee, yeah, that's her last name. You may know her from The Today Show and or her show with Regis Philbin. Regis and Kathy Lee. So, but this guy just keeps on laying down the knowledge. Knowledge. It's like a machine gun. Little knowledge bombs. One bullet at a time. So he was talking about Matthew 1, where he goes through the genealogy of Jesus, starting from Adam, going to David, and then from David going to Joseph, and then the birth of Jesus. And this is a good time of the year to be talking about that because we are celebrating the birth of Christ as depicted in Matthew 1. So there were 14 generations, like I said, from Adam to David, and also 14 generations from David to Joseph. Also, the name Yeshua, which is the Hebrew name for Jesus, is a combination of two Jewish words, Hebrew words. Yah, which is the shortened name for God, a shortened name for Jehovah, or Yeshua, and Yasha, which means saves. So, in other words, the words combine to mean the Lord saves. So, like I said, there's 14 generations. The version of Luke, the version that Luke gives of the same exact story, is the story from Mary's perspective, and the version from Matthew is the perspective of Joseph. Let's see. So Matthew is from Joseph's perspective. From both sides. So both sides show that he was born from the Beit David, which is the house of David. And the house of David, that's also listed in 2 Samuel 7. So Jesus was brought forth both by adoption and biologically. So biologically from the mother and adopted by Joseph as his own son. Let's see. I may or may not like that. I may not like that. I may live to regret that. Let's find out. Let's see. So, both by adoption and biologically, and also the number 14. If you know anything about the Hebrew language, they count with letters. So, if we were to use our English alphabet, the letter A would mean the number 1, the letter B would be number 2, C would be number 3, and so forth. But in the Hebrew alphabet, the number 14 is spelled out with letters. There's no other way to spell it. There's no other way to enter it. So the word David is spelled with Dalet, Vav, Dalet. Dalet equals number 4, Vav is number 6, Dalet is number 4, and they all combine to the number 14. Also, number 14 is the Passover, which started on the 14th of Nisan, the month of Nisan. also the